Since you guys liked my Iron Gwazi vs Steel Vengeance video so much, I figured I'd go ahead and do another coaster versus coaster. It's time to take one coaster and take another coaster to find out what's the better one. And put some points together through dumb arbitrary measures and add them up before we're done. And while it should be a given, it's just my opinion. If you don't like it, don't leave a comment, just leave. It's just a stupid video. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mario. This is a channel all about amusement park type stuff, but mostly coasters. And today we're going to try and determine which coaster is better. Manta at SeaWorld Orlando or Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain. And of course, this video is completely scientific and 100% accurate. The winner of this video is objectively better. And if you have any problems, feel free to email my complaints department and we'd be happy to help. But anyways, let's get on with it. These two coasters are of course B&M flying coasters, which just happens to be one of my absolute favorite models. Since they are the same model, they have very similar elements and similar inversions specifically, but these two coasters are not without their differences. For example, Tatsu is just larger scale overall. Both of these coasters have a great setting with their own respective unique scenery, and both feel somewhat different when it comes to the pacing of the ride. But to start dishing out points, we're going to start with the most objective category, and that is the stats for each coaster. Starting with the height, we have Tatsu coming in with 170 feet and Manta coming in at 140. Tatsu gets a point. Next up, we have the drop, which genuinely surprised me when I was looking into the stats for each of these coasters, because despite Tatsu being 30 feet taller than Manta, its drop is 2 feet smaller than Manta at 111 feet. Point Manta. Tatsu, however, gets back in the lead with a top speed of 62 miles per hour, while Manta's top speed clocks in at 56 miles per hour. As far as inversions are concerned, both coasters have 4, so both coasters get a point. Track length is a category that was actually closer than I had expected, but Manta comes up a little short with 3,359, and Tatsu gets the point with 3,602 feet. The ride duration is another close one, being calculated from the end of the lift to the beginning of the final brakes. Manta has a ride duration of 53 seconds, where Tatsu just edges it out with 56. So at the end of our first round, Tatsu has 5 points and Manta has 2. Our next category is ride elements. First, we're going to compare similar elements, and then we'll look at each ride's unique elements. The first comparable element is going to be the drop. These are both very similar drops that are long, swooping, drawn-out drops. I do, however, think Manta is the slightest bit better, as it is just a bit whippier in its initial change of direction coming off of the lift. Next, we're going to be looking at both coasters' inversions, and aside from the two pretzel loops, what each inversion is classified as, at least according to RCDB, is kind of confusing, not gonna lie. According to the roller coaster database, Tatsu has a corkscrew, a zero-G roll, an inline twist, and Manta has an inline twist, a corkscrew, and another inline twist. So first, let's compare each ride's corkscrew. This is the first inversion on Tatsu and the third on Manta, and I think Tatsu's gonna win this one. I do think Manta's is a bit whippier and faster paced, but Tatsu's is larger scale and more graceful, which is personally what I prefer, at least for a corkscrew on a flying coaster. Next up are the inline twists. All three of these inline twists are very similar, so since Manta has 2, Manta's gonna get the point. But while Manta may have an extra inline twist, Tatsu has a zero-G roll and Manta does not. Tatsu, point. And then next up is the two pretzel loops, and I'm gonna get so much hate for this, because I know how much people love Tatsu's pretzel loop, but I like Manta's better. Tatsu's is definitely more intense. I love the scale of it, and I love diving straight out the ground, but once you bottom out, the shaking is just a little bit too much for me to handle, and it can honestly cause a pretty bad headache. While Manta's isn't as big, it does at least provide a very similar sensation, and there's no discomfort. Next up is each ride's scenic turnaround. And it honestly kind of pains me to compare these two turns. Despite their slow speed and minimal forces, both are two of my favorite parts of each ride. That being said, Manta just barely edges out Tatsu. Manta has special effects, rock work, and multiple near misses, all contributing to a greater sense of speed and excitement. And then last but not least, we have each ride step up into the brake runs. Manta does this twice, once into the mid-course brake run and once into the final brakes. Tatsu only does it once, but where Tatsu does it, it does it more powerfully, and I'm gonna take quality over quantity in this instance. Tatsu, another point. And now to add up each ride's unique elements, we'll start with Tatsu's horseshoe turn. This is that tight overbank turn above Samurai Summit. It's a really great element. Tatsu gets a point for having that, and it'll also get a point for its turn before the pretzel loop. While I would not typically consider turns to be a ride element, this is much more than a piece of track to get you from point A to point B. It is whippy and fast, and quite an enjoyable ride element. To switch back over to Manta, we only have one unique element, and that is the drop off of the mid-course brake run. Transitioning out of a brake run is not typically a ride element for me, but this drop does actually cause you to float off of your vest restraint, and if you're in the back, it yanks you down, making this a notable part of the ride. That does it for the ride elements. Now let's look at the ride experience, starting with the forces of the ride. Now when it comes to airtime or negative G-forces on a flying coaster, it's kind of hard to discern what those really are. I personally consider airtime on a flying coaster to be non-inverting points on the ride, where you float between your vest and the back of your seat. With this guideline in mind, Tatsu will receive the point for having more prolonged moments of airtime that you can feel throughout the entire train. As far as the positive G-forces go, I consider this any moment on the ride where you are forcefully being pushed into either the vest of your seat or into the seat back. Tatsu has insane sustained positives on the pretzel loop, but other than that, it only has a couple of abrupt bursts on a couple turns. Manta, on the other hand, pulls forces on almost every single turn, and it also has the pretzel loop. Manta gets a point. And as far as lateral G-forces, or the forces that throw you side to side, I'm honestly not sure if either coaster technically has laterals. Manta does have more moments where it feels whippier, so Manta's gonna get the point. Next up, we're gonna be looking at pacing, which plays a huge factor in whether or not a ride is enjoyable. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Manta does have a mid-course brake run, whereas Tatsu does not, but Manta usually flies through that. And while Tatsu does flow nicely, its elements are more drawn out, making it feel less out of control and less fast-paced, thus giving Manta the point. As far as intensity goes, Manta's gonna get the point for the same reasons that it got the point in the pacing category and the positive G-force category. Tatsu does certainly have a couple more intense elements, but Manta just rips through its layout more forcefully overall. As far as the fun category, which is obviously very subjective, I think Tatsu has to get the point for being more graceful and more surreal and just providing a more genuine flying sensation. Not that I've ever personally flown before, at least outside of an airplane, but next up is comfort, which can definitely make or break a ride, and both track very smoothly and more or less are comfy, with the only moment on either ride coming on Tatsu's pretzel loop, so Manta has to get the point for not being rough at any point. And then last in this category is another very tough one with the visuals. Tatsu is high above the ground at almost every point on the ride and is surrounded by pretty mountains, providing such a surreal flying experience, while Manta has scenery right up in your face as you're flying low to the ground for a majority of the ride, and this is what I prefer personally, since I think it provides a greater sense of speed and intensity. And while that does it for our three main categories, let's look at a couple other smaller details. Now, when it comes to operations, I think it really just depends on the day for either coaster. Both coasters are flying coasters, which have notoriously slow operations, so I don't think either coaster should get the point here. And then Manta is definitely gonna have to get a point for having good theming, because Tatsu doesn't really have any, and Manta has a full aquarium in the queue, a Manta-shaped lead car, Manta-shaped shade structures over the pathway, and a few other great touches as well. So if we tally up all the points, Manta finishes with 14 points, and Tatsu finishes with 12. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it just comes down to personal preference, so I'd love to know which coaster you guys think is better. You guys can go ahead and vote in the comments down below. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe for more content like this, and make sure to tune in next time for the Manta Aquarium versus the M&M stairs.